Hi Collective, welcome to the channel. I'm Crystal, Divine Psychic Medium here, delivering messages to you from the higher realms, so welcome in everyone. Alright, let's call everybody in. Divine Source Spirit, all my angels, all my guides, spiritual teachers, shamans, gurus, high priests, high priestesses, the gods, goddesses, my galactic family, star family, my soul family. Let's see. So, I'm so happy I get to use my Witch's Tarot again. Yay! It's been like 3 months. I always pull this deck too for new moon and full moon energies, but I was missing a card out of this deck. A card got missed when my son had a fit and my deck got thrown across the room. So yeah, there was a card missing. I recovered all of them but one. And I was about to replace the deck. I've been looking at getting a replacement for the set, but I was like, I love it because I've had it like all of my journey. There's a couple of decks I've had my whole tarot journey, and it's one of them, right? I don't know, so I'm excited, right? And the Knight of Cups. Oh, and the missing card, I took that as being significant too, is the Page of Cups, right? So, I feel like there's like something that's been hidden, right? Because it was crazy too. It was like I checked my whole room everywhere, and I was like, it's got to be just somewhere very specific. And it was like it had flew right behind my shelf, my TV stand. And it was like flat up against the wall, right? So it was in a safe place, but there was nowhere to find it without me physically like moving another shelf that I had next to it. And I was cleaning behind there and I'd seen it. So of course it emerged when I wasn't looking for it. I was just going about, I was organizing things. I was actually donating things and making more space and room when this appeared. I always pay attention to things like that because I just cannot tell you how many times that I looked for that card, right? I didn't even really know which card was missing either because I just counted and I knew I only had 77 cards, right? And I just knew that I couldn't do this deck without it. So, I want to read to you what the Page of Cups is because they're telling me to read from the book because each deck has its own unique vibration, right? So, should I read that? No, we'll just go off the meanings, right? But keywords are imagination, a student beginning a magical or psychic study, discovering new psychic or magical talents, embracing hope, and rediscovering the joy of your craft. What I feel here is like somebody's going to be coming across something. Something's going to be emerging to you. Some sort of new psychic talent, ability, just something, right? It's associated with water and earth. This water is the Suit of Cups related to natural element, with all 4 pages are associated with the practical element of earth. Okay. So here's the meaning. When the Page of Cups splashes into reality, you are being put on notice that a new intuitive talents are about to emerge. Take the time to explore your gifts. Immerse yourself in the exploration of your intuition, empath, clairvoyance, and other psychic talents. This court card may also symbolize a student just beginning the studies in the magical arts. Embrace the fun of discovery and put some joy back into your craft. As with all court cards, this page can represent an actual person. Typically, there will be a youth with blonde or brown hair, blue light eyes, or green eyes. This gives a little bit of description. Doesn't have to be, though. But the message of Page of Cups is to explore your magical or psychic talents, and don't forget the magic is a joyous thing. Right? So it's just so significant that it's like when I found that card, it completed my deck, right? Where I was able to use it again. So I feel somebody is going to be receiving something that is going to complete you. It's for you to go down some sort of endeavor or something, right? And it's like maybe it wasn't ready for you. Okay? Like I said, like when that card was hidden or whatever, it was when I was going through a lot with my son, right? And he was having a fit and tossing things in the room and things like that, right? And I've always said that. It's like I needed to calm down a lot of the chaos within my family before I could get going with things. I don't know, there's just something so significant about that showing up. And then right before this reading, when I was looking into things, I was realizing that we have the new moon, right, of Taurus coming on the 7th and 8th of May, right before my daughter's birthday. She's my May 9th baby. So I was like, oh, wow, we have a new moon. Because sometimes I get so caught up in other things that are going on that I don't get pulled into the astrological events, and then I do. So it's like I haven't even like looked at the next new moon cycle. Like I realized that. Anyway, so anyway, beautiful. So I'm gonna be doing new moon readings soon. I kind of feel like I feel the energy a week out anyway, so I kind of feel like this new beginning is like already coming in. Whatever you're starting here, you know, has to do with that. And then, ooh, a Page of Wands here, this youthful energy. There's still 7 of Swords on the bottom. Maybe you're letting go of fear. This could be your energy, right? Or a 7 of Swords is being shown to you. Maybe, you know, I've been getting to, as I've been asking Divine to reveal my enemies to me, right? Which they have been through my dreamscape. But, you know, pay attention to your dreams. But you guys could be getting some things revealed to you, hidden enemies and things like that. He even looks a little bit like, look at him. He's like, hi. It's like a sarcastic hi. You know, I don't think he really means it. It's interesting, too. You know, I use my clairs to put everything in, right? As I was bringing up earlier today, right, that how I was talking about, like, yeah, I'm very much aware of somebody in my close surroundings that does not like me, right? And I finally disclosed that, not to them, but to someone else, like, yeah, they've never liked me, and I know I'm staying, you know, where I am at. Normally, you know, because of other circumstances, I'm like, normally I would move away, but it's one of these, like, I know that this is what was needed at this time, so I just keep my distance. I look away and things like that. Like, that this person likes my family, just not me, right? But I know that, you know, it's that the light that I carry that irritates the darkness, right? Because I reflect back to people. That's why people that don't like me, you don't realize it's really yourself, because I reflect the shadows back at you. So, you know, if something bothers me or bothers you about me, it's really a reflection of yourself, right? And that's why you have to know that. That's when something bothers you. Like if something, like, and that goes for you too. It's like if anybody bothers you, then it's a reflection. Come on. It's a reflection of something within yourself that you need to look at. Why does that bother you? It's a trigger, right? So I know that it's supposed to show something, right? But especially as healers, as chosen ones, like, we know we're here guiding people to the light. And a lot of times it's the darkness, the shadows that they have, right? All right, so anyway. Okay, what I'm getting at is, so, like, yeah, so I guess that was another enemy that was being presented to me that I didn't even realize. Because it was over a specific scenario. I don't want to disclose too much, right? Because I don't like to say who my enemies are, who people that aren't for me. Like, I keep that to myself. I'm trying to put this out for you guys to understand this frequency, right? And maybe that's for you. Like, and the only reason why I had said something about this today, because I was like, oh, you shouldn't have brought up my name. Next time, just don't bring up my name. So I was like, why not bring up your name to this person? I was like, because they don't like me. And it's just, so I avoid them already. So just, you know, so it's one of those, like, just, don't get into the gossiping or talking ill. You know, just send them love and healing, you know. It's kind of what you do. You just send love and healing to these individuals. But I'm getting, enemies are getting exposed here is the biggest message, I guess, is what I'm going with here. Enemies are getting exposed. People that aren't for you. And maybe they're not an enemy, but they're in or out. They might not be, like, you know, when you hear enemy, you think that that's someone that's down to destroy you or whatever. Maybe it's literally just someone that's not for you. Because to me, it's like you're either on your side or you're not. You're either on team light or team dark, right? And some people don't realize they're on team dark. But, So, yeah, they're on the enemy team. They let the kingdom of darkness get in and cause them to gossip or cause them to speak ill-willed, say things that are not of high vibration. You don't realize every time you do that, too, you're bringing that back on you. Because the universe doesn't understand that you're talking about somebody else. All they know is the vibrations that are coming out of your mouth. So when you talk ill upon anybody or say anything bad about anybody, you're telling the universe that, like, that's you, basically. And then it's like, ooh, give me more of that. So no, I'm not going to talk. That's why when you can start to flip everything that you said, love and light, like my enemies, even if they do things that are wrong to me, I send you love and light. Because I'm not going to talk ill. I'm not going to talk about what you did to me that was wrong, because I don't want that to manifest again. You know what I mean? And sometimes people will do things for power and control. It's like if they get you talking about them, they've won, right? You may have walked away from what they were saying to you, projecting at you, but if now you have to go home or to your family or friends or whatever and talk about what was said, it's still, the enemy still got into your head, got into your energy, got into your mind space. So, be careful. All right, so they're giving me some messages, hearing some gold to tell you, because sometimes you don't realize you're doing it. You think you're venting and things like that, but we've been taught to do that, to not suppress and hold our emotions, but instead be an alchemist and transmute that into passion, energy, and love. And every single time that something like that happens, remind yourself, I need to show more love and compassion to myself. I need to love myself more. I need to send love and healing. And then every time you're projecting love and healing instead of gossiping, instead of dark, lower vibrational energy. So even if they're an enemy, like, don't let it get to you. But these things are going to get revealed to you because obviously, you know, you want to keep your distance and space because you don't want to surround yourself, because this person could be sending you evil eye spell work, right, by talking, projecting things with their mind. Like, that's one of the gifts that I have, that it's like a gift and a curse, right? Is some of the intelligence that I have. I don't know how to explain this. Maybe for some of you you're going to understand, but it's like I have the ability to mind read. My clairaudience is so strong and powerful. When it doesn't happen all the time. I don't want people to think it just doesn't happen all the time, but it happens when someone's got like strong emotions. And if I'm in my energy of receiving my clairaudience, and then I align with someone that's got strong emotions and feelings, I hear everything that's like in their mind and mine. So it's like so it's like I will hear, you know, people's emotion, like, so I'll hear people's true intentions, right? Like, trying to get, like, they're showing me, like, the Mel Gibson movie. Like, I think What Women Want or something like that. How, you know, when, like, he's walking along and he could hear people, the ladies, but they were like, is he really, that type of stuff. But it's not all the time, like, anybody he walked by, he could hear them. It's only when it's very strong emotion. So it's like if I'm around somebody that really doesn't like me and they're thinking heavily of the stuff, like, I hear it all. And then it's even more uncomfortable because, you know what? It's uncomfortable when you hear it, you know, it's getting projected. You feel so uncomfortable and you're like, I can't say I know what you're thinking, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. This could be freaking something about maybe me talking about new psychic skills and abilities. Maybe you realize you could do that. All of a sudden, you're starting to hear people's voices, their thoughts, right? Or you could notice that you're doing it more. People could even be telling you. You know, they could be thinking something like, I want to have this or whatever. And then you're just like, well, let's go do that. And they're like, were you just talking? How did you hear? I was thinking that. How did you know that? You may notice that in things like that. People could be bringing these things to you. It means you're reaching higher levels. I'm just going to tell you that. And I'm going to tell you, not everybody can probably do that, but I don't know, for whatever reason, like, it's one of my gifts too, because it's allowed for, I can plant seeds too in people's minds. I do, and it's something like I had to get, like, initiated to get to this level too, because I only do it for light purposes, like for healing. I'm not going to do it in a way to manipulate to get my way. And I got tested a lot of that when I was younger. And when I was younger, I did use it to manipulate to get my ways. But then there was reactions for that in karma. And then I had to learn, like, okay, I was like, my bad. I won't do that anymore. And then I had to wait a long time before I was able to do that again. And now I see how I can use it for good purposes. Like, I can literally plant seeds in other people's minds to help. Like, that's how I started to show that I could do that, where I pulled myself out of it. And this isn't making sense to you, don't worry about it. It's not your gift, your ability, but this is for someone. But it's like I could plant seeds in someone else's consciousness to help another. And then when I would, it's kind of like working from afar, right? So when I started to realize that I could do it, then it was like, I don't know. That's what unlocked it, where then I had the gift to be able to do more of it. But it's like I only do it in healing purposes. So, yeah. It's a very beautiful thing, because it's like if you can get in and manipulate, and not really manipulate. Well, I guess it is what it is. But I could get into someone's consciousness, and it's like I can play around with their shadow side and kind of extract it, put the healing there, get it to... I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining this very well. I don't even know. If anybody knows the name of that, if there's a name of that type of skill set, ability, I don't know. I just know it's something that I can do, right? And I don't know how many other people can do it. All right, I'm gonna quit going on that. So let's move on. All right. So new skill sets and abilities are coming. And we got a strong emperor here. You could very much be taking charge and control and authority over your life, over your world. Right? For some of you, some of these skill sets and abilities, they just told me, like, are on like galactic levels, like galactic intelligence. Like, if you don't understand that, you're not privy to it. Right. As I work with my galactic beings, right? I've got galactic ancestors that I work with. So I'm sure you heard in the beginning, like they told me to do the calling in that I do in the beginning, so you guys can hear the spirit team that I call in. It's not just the angels and family ancestors here. There's a lot of different beings that I work with. Alright, so let's get into some more. Three of Swords is coming out here. So they're telling me, I tell you, you learn the strongest lessons through heartbreak and heartache. But see, part of being like an alchemist, things like that, improving yourself to get these skill sets and abilities, is you have to heal your heart. You have to be able to transmute that pain. Because it's like if you're going to hold on to any bit of darkness, you're not going to have these certain skill sets and abilities. Maybe this is the reason to why you didn't get them before. Because if you were in heartbreak and pain, a lot of times you don't see these beautiful abilities, but there's stages of heartbreak, A lot of times there's anger, before sadness. But sometimes people goes the other way. There's sadness and then there's anger, right? And then revenge and things like that. So it's like you really have had to prove to the universe, the source, God, creator, that you know how to transmute your pain, that you are not going to wish revenge upon people, that you are not going to use certain things in a way. So that's why there's so many initiations and tests before you get skill sets and abilities, because it's to make sure that you can't use things for the wrong way, because there's already way too much manipulation of energy that's being used in the wrong way. There's way too much that the dark magicians and you know what I mean that's being done, right? That the light energy, which is way stronger and far more advanced, there's certain levels before you reach it. And that's why you got to be very careful too. You also have to show that you're going to be able to protect yourself, because the darkness knows that the light's got more power and they've been trying to harness it and use it. And maybe that's for a while too. For some of you, some of your gifts or whatever were hidden from you because you don't understand that they're just for you. And if you had any bit of ego, then you weren't going to get it either, because they didn't want you to go telling people your skill sets and abilities. The only reason why I do on my channel is because I am teaching and awakening you to these skill sets and abilities, right? Like, I don't go tell my family and my friends in the outside world that I have these skill sets and abilities. I keep them hidden. I keep them for me. But because I'm teaching, and the ones are going to be aligned with this are meant to use that, that's why, and I know some of my enemies are still on here, but you're not even going to understand what I'm talking about. You're just going to go on saying, oh, Crystal's crazy, whatever, which is fine, because that's not what it's about. The ones that are meant to reach this for this understanding, it's going to. And that's how we've been kind of protected in a way too, is because, that's what they've done. That's why, people have these mental illnesses. If you, use your clairaudience, it's all smoke and mirrors. They didn't want to acknowledge that people have real skill sets and abilities and talents, and can really, it's funny, they'll say, oh, that's fake, but then they got, psychics and people on their payroll, and that's why they'll come to me wanting me to work for them and things like that, because they know that I have those abilities, but they'll never acknowledge it. That's why it's always like, oh, you on the hidden payroll. For some of you, maybe you're getting some sort of offer coming in where you're going to be working, with the matrix, right? Because it's one of those, I'm getting like the informant energy, like they realize they can't stop you, so they want to work with you. They want you to work with them. They want to benefit from getting an alliance with you. They know that you're able to get to galactic intelligence, so they want to work with you, right? And they want you to be able to help them, right? But be careful that you're not jeopardizing your skill sets and abilities if they're trying to let you do dark manipulation, right? Because they brought me to everything. I don't watch a lot of TV, so when I do, it's significant. So I was watching the 911 last night, not the normal one, the Lone Star, and they brought me to a clip where they were shutting down the firehouse, right? And they had to outsource them because they were shutting it down. So they put them in these jobs, right, where they were still paramedics, but they were working for a company or whatever, where they were still saving lives, right? So, but they wanted to get back together, and open up, their house or whatever. Well, anyway, the clip that they brought me to is where Vega gets pulled into the office, and she's like, you did an amazing job with the woman that you saved last night, but we're coming at you wanting to know why you didn't offer her any meds or any treatment from getting her in the ambulance to the hospital. And she's like, well, because she didn't need it. She wasn't showing that she was in pain. She wasn't showing that she, needed any medicine. And they were like, well, over here with this company, like, we provide the best, quality, comfort, the ambulance company or medic sort of they're working for. So it's like, you need to push the meds more. We don't want to see you transporting anybody without, running some meds and some IV. You know what I mean? So she was realizing, like, wow, I have to get out of here, obviously. This isn't true and authentic about helping people. I'm helping people in this profession, but they're wanting me to push drugs, right? No, you know what I mean? So they brought me to that, right? So be careful that whatever you're doing, that you don't get manipulated. And maybe for some of you do take an opportunity or a job, right? Maybe something sounds amazing and you do take it and you're like, all right, well, I'm going to be helping. I'm going to use my skill sets and abilities or whatever. And maybe it had to do with what I was just talking about, like manipulation, but to help the good or whatever. And maybe like the first couple cases they have you doing that, but then all of a sudden, you realize like, oh, wait, they're wanting me to manipulate this for where they can make money off of it or something like that. Or it's going to work to, you know what I mean? It's going to do something that's not of the light. It's going to be, I feel it's going to be like in the shadow. It's going to be like, it could go either way, but you have a feeling that it's not for the good. Listen to that. And maybe it's a test too, because for some of you, they're testing to see if you would manipulate and abuse your position that they would be giving you with the company. So then they may go, all right, good, you passed the test, we don't want you to do that. But for others of you, like, it could be something where they're like, they just really are trying to take advantage of you. And you could be like, nope, sorry, I'm no longer working with you. And then you're going to get tested from the universe. I don't know. I'm picking up multiple ways. It's all about trusting your intuition, though. So don't get compromised. Don't get controlled or whatever off of money here. It's kind of like there's so much corruption, like with the music industry and things like that. Like they flash all this money in these contracts and they get you to sign them or whatever. And then they own you and then they try to. So be careful what you're signing and getting to in contracts. And then it's like, then they like own you and then they make you, you know what I mean? Then they have certain standards, right? Just like I wanted to get into music and all that, but I didn't know that, you know, like the industry and stuff, like you have to be very, was it provocative? You have to dress a certain way. You know what I mean? Just like all the female artists, why do you think they all dress trashy, in my opinion? A lot of in the pop scene, that it's part of the contract. Like you have to, they want you to, you know, be seduced because they want you to reach that certain crowd. So there's certain things, I'm not going to get into all of it, but it's just like you have to do all of that, you know, like it's taken away from the authenticity or whatever. You know, you can't just get up there with just your talents, right? They dress you a certain way. You have to, you know what I mean, show your ass basically and all of that. Like, no, like, no. But some of them don't even, you don't realize it's a contract. Like they have to do that, but they sign the contract and that's where they get you. All right, wow, they're coming out with a lot of stuff in here. Okay. So anyway, there's a new beginning here at the full card energy. So your integrity, your authenticity is getting tested a lot. Enemies are being revealed to you. For some of you to move away, or it's just to create boundaries. Because like I said, for some of you, there could be reasons why you have to stay in things. But having those boundaries, protecting your space is going to be beneficial. And it's also telling the universe, like, I will put up with this, I won't put up with this. Like, I've even had them coming at me, like, if certain people have come at me, I just say, okay, all right, I walk away, I said I'm healing afterwards. And it's like, lately, I've been having, I don't know if it's new ancestors and new spirit and guides or whatever, but they're like, if they come at you again, you need to tell them this. Tell them, you know, say it to it this way so they know that you're not a pushover anymore. You're not one to be messed with. You know, one of those, like if somebody's always like, maybe someone's always giving you like the evil eye, looking at you, glaring at you. Maybe you've always looked away or looked down to not engage. But it's like, as of late, it's been like, you need to speak up and say something about that. You know, like, doesn't have to be in an aggressive way, like, don't you glare at me. Like, don't try to start a fight, but have boundaries, you know. Like, maybe even just say something like, I've noticed that and give me very piercing eyes when I walk by. You know, I'm just sending you, you know, love and light. Please stop doing that. You know, because I send you lots of healing. So, you know, or maybe you're not aware that when you stare at me, I feel anger and intent, and I'm just sending you healing. That's why I'm looking at you. You know, it could even be something nice, because you can't fight fire with fire, but you can do it with love. But for some of you, like, if it bothers you every time, that's why they're wanting you to speak up. Because for some of you, you can just walk on and just smile and walk on, and it's not an issue. But for some of you, it's like, it bothers you. So they're wanting you to speak up. I don't know. You'll know what that is, right? But do it in a loving way, right? Remember, these people need healing. These people, light irritates people's demons. And a lot of times it's the demons within the mind, dark energy. People don't realize, you know, how much of it there is. Like, you take on dark energy or light energy, right? And I know I say demons a lot, and people think like, when I say demons that it means like, oh, demonic possessions and like exorcism stuff, you know, like, they have a demon in them, they need to be, you know, go through an exorcism. You know, I brought that up, maybe somebody does need to have, you know, a strong removal of a demonic force, or because some people have some strongholds of attachments. But It's not the type of healing they've shown on TV. It needs to be like a chakra healing. You have certain attachments to your chakras, right? And going through an energy attunement and alignment can get them out and open them up and healing, right? Because you create your own demons if you have woundings. It's dark energy that emerges that can then be manipulated and controlled by dark forces. That's really what it is. That's why it's like light energy, dark energy. So when I say, and to me, it's like either like angel or demons, right? So, and you're constantly, it's like you constantly get that choice. Just like, to me, you always have like the angel on one side, the dark on the other. That's like your light and your dark side. So depending on your energy, like if you've ever gotten into a place of envy, you're taking on dark energy, and then a demon can get in there and can manipulate and control. And that's when, like, if you hear the voices or whatever, like, yeah, you don't realize, like, anytime you're in an argument or a fight, there's a driving force behind it. It's that dark energy that's like, yeah, say that, you know what I mean? And that's why, like, you'll even feel your adrenaline rising. That's what that dark energy and that demon is doing. That's why immediately, if you can flip to gratitude and love, like, it's pushed out. The light will always overcome the darkness. So the more that you can stay in the light, the less you have those attacks. So if you do start to feel that lower dark energy, you know, just start to be grateful and thankful for something, and it goes. You can't have the light and the dark at the same, like, you balance it within, but when you're, I hope I'm explaining this well, you pick, it's just like you either, it's like you can't be mad happy, you know what I mean, or you can't be sad happy. It's one of those, like, you very much have control. Sometimes you need to breathe. People don't realize that holding that energy, taking deep breaths, you push out that dark energy. And when you take deep breaths in, you're immediately calling in divine. That's their way of knowing you need help. It's when you call in light, divine, source energy. So I've been holding this Empress in my hands the entire time. This is a very powerful new beginning and emerging. She's very, very abundant. She's very beautiful, very resourceful. You know, the Empress learns too. She doesn't manipulate and control. Everything that she desires flows right to her when she's in this beautiful energy. If she lets other people manipulate her energy, it messes with her magic, right? So for some of you, you could be seeing that people are pulling on you with resource energy. Are people trying to get you in an argumentative state? Are people trying to pull on things that hurt you before, pulling on the past, right? So be careful. People are definitely trying to pull you out of your Empress energy. You're headed to this. 10 of Pentacles, legacy wealth. For some of you, you're also getting shown who your enemies are, who's not for you, because of the fact that you're getting ready to come into a whole bunch of abundance, and they don't want you blessing the wrong people. Because there's so many people, beautiful people that need to be blessed in this world, that you need to be careful of that, right? You can't pull people out of their karma, or they don't learn the lesson. That's why, in fact, you're in the lesson. So, you know, and for some of you, like, it could be family, friends, and you may even be having compassion for them. You may be, well, they're like that way because they're struggling a lot financially, because giving them the money is not going to fix the problem, right? And they're in it for a reason. So you need strategies here. Page of Swords, with this one holding the sword up, like told you, you've got to have boundaries with certain people. 33 on the clock is to say that. You need to be able to strategize. You need to be able to cut certain people out. Have a plan, right? Things like that. Yeah, you see, look, devil energy. Shadow side. See how the light coming in is like irritating the demons within him. That's how too you can find out people that just don't want to hear kindness. They don't want to hear beautiful things. Have you ever had people you try to compliment them and they're even like, no, no, I don't need no compliment. Wow. Some people, you have to let them heal themselves, right? And that's where you can send healing to their higher self, to their angels or guardians or ancestors. If sometimes you can't send healing to the person, don't ever let it turn you dark. Okay. All right, we'll get a few more and then I'll stop because I don't like to pull, take up too much energy. I try to keep everything around 30 minutes because I feel the hour-long reads are too much. But I don't think you should be sitting watching videos for too long because it's always a beautiful day to go outside, right? And get some sunlight, or if you're at night, go get some moonlight, right? Nine of Wands, Page of Cups. Ooh. So that Page of Cups, told you, she's happy she's emerged, right? Knight of Wands. So enemy, Kingdom of Darkness, could be sending something in as a test. That Knight of Wands is that non-committal energy, player energy, somebody that wants to come in, have fun, distract you. So be careful of that. Because star cards here are wish fulfillment. But for some of you, this is fast movement too. This is you ready to be very passionate, have fun. It can be a fun energy too. But there's this Tower moment. And then this Ace of Wands. There's a passionate new beginning definitely emerging here. Something could really be coming in to shake up a foundation too. They show me the Empress again and 10 of Cups. But then there's 5 of Cups. That's interesting. Right? 5 of Cups, the 10 of Cups. There could be a fast-moving energy that comes in that causes an ending. An ending within a family. For some of you, this could be ending something with children. Could be toxic cycles, patterns. Something could be going on the home front for sure. King of Cups is here. 2 of Pentacles. I don't want to go too much into that. There's something very much with children here. I forgot how much children are in this deck, right? Somebody's dropping money to these 2 children. Like fairness is coming in for children. Maybe children were being manipulated and controlled or being afraid of something. Because what I get with this card too is it's like, you know how easy children can be manipulated with money and resources. Maybe somebody was doing that. I know this really itchy, so it's confirmation that it's a very strong energy to come out. New perspective, and even like Odin. So it looks like, hey, he's dropping the coin, the pentacle. This red's sticking out to me too. Death card, King of Wands. Strong energy here. The King of Wands. You could just pay attention to what you're feeling. Things are being revealed to you, definitely. All right, I said 30 minutes. I'm at 37. I'm closing this out. Sending love and light to all of you. Definitely watch every full guided too. All of my readings are timeless. Know that. It is more fun to catch them in real time though. So you should subscribe if you have not, so you will catch them with what's going on in the cosmos. Because I'm going to be doing all my new moon readings coming up soon as we have this new moon in Taurus approaching. All right, love and light to all of you. Bye.